Welcome back, business crew. My name is Peter Solanikow. I'm a business consultant. I'm a business coach and mentor. Welcome back to the second podcast in the financial crisis series, the Warning to Australians series. This is the podcast which is mainly focused on Australians. I'm here in Melbourne, Australia. So this second podcast has a focus where I will be going through and outlining the effects of the financial crisis on certain parts of the economy. If you haven't heard the first podcast, please do so, because that's the podcast where I actually argue why I believe Australia will be faced by a financial crisis. So please go back and listen to that. That's actually quite important. Now, this podcast will be a lot shorter than the previous one because I'm just going to get straight to the point here. I will be outlining the different effects that the financial crisis is going to have on different sectors of the Australian economy. So I'll start off by saying that there will be a decrease in property prices. Property prices are going to fall. I've been expecting this for quite a few years now. My prediction is 50%. There'll be a 50% decline between the peak in property prices, which I think occurred in about 2017. It is now known that property prices are falling, and they have been falling for about a year, about 2, 3, 5% at the moment. I think that's going to go to 50%, which is obviously a very, very big fall. Now, how that's going to affect the rental market is actually a question mark, which I'm not sure about. I am concerned that rental prices are going to increase. That's because when people start losing their properties because they just haven't been able to manage to repay their loans, well, they need somewhere to live. So the general practice is that if you don't own your own home, if you lose your home, then you are going to go into the rental market because renting is cheaper than actually having to repay your loan. So there should be a big increase in demand for actual rentals. So on the one hand, there should be an increase in rental prices as more and more people are going to be looking for properties to rent. On the other hand, when investors who are ready to make a purchase, who are ready for the financial crisis, who have been predicting property prices to fall, when they actually start to pick up these properties at 20, 30, 40% less, they won't need as much of a rental income to get a good return on their properties. So on the one hand, in order to maintain their 3 or 4% of rental yields, they may settle for an even cheaper rent. So like I said, there are two cases here for the rental market. One case suggests that rental rents should go up. The other case suggests that rents should go down. Look, I don't know. Time is going to tell about that one. But definitely 100% property prices are going to fall. They will fall considerably. The share market's going to decline. The share market is going to decline by many, many percent. 20, 30%, maybe there could be an all-out crash, 50% plus. Look, difficult to say, but I can certainly see the Australian share market falling considerably. This is going to be led by the banking sector. The banking sector actually has a considerable portion of the Australian index, the Australian share market index, so any declines in the banking sector is going to be pulling down the rest of the market. Now, look, it's Sunday at the moment, so it's the weekend. So I'm going to be giving you the 5th of October prices because these are the prices that have occurred on Friday. The share market is obviously closed on the weekend, so I haven't been able to, there are no prices for the last couple of days, so I can only go by the closing prices. So just list these down and just keep a watch on these. These are the main 4 banks, which I think are going to cop it really sweet. And the actual indexes as well, which is going to, I think is going to be in a lot of pain. ANZ closed on Friday at $27.72. Commonwealth Bank, CBA, $70 exactly. That's the closing price on Friday. WBC, that's the code for Westpac, $27.49. National Australia Bank, code NAB, $27.10. So these are the Friday, October the 5th closing prices. The ASX 200 index, so this is the index with the 200 largest companies, that the the index, which has a code XJO, is 6,185 points and a half. Well, 6,185, say. My my target price for Westpac, even though it's $27.49 now, I wouldn't be surprised if I see that at $15 or less. And the Australian, the ASX 200, if that's going to be 4,000, yeah, will not surprise me at all. So the stock market's going to get hit, property prices are going to get hit, businesses are going to get hit, there's going to be a lot of bankruptcies in business, unemployment's going to increase, people are going to lose their jobs, bankruptcies are going to rise. The latest figures, the latest unemployment figures in Australia, these are August figures, and these are the latest ones. We're in October now, 5.3%. I really can't see the unemployment rate getting much lower than that, maybe 5.2, but I think we're going straight up from this point now. So also keep a lookout for the unemployment rate, and then be prepared, possibly, potentially, for you to lose your job, or if you're a business owner, possibly to see major problems with your business once again, if you are not prepared. Now, more of a concern are wage earners. If you're working, it doesn't matter how prepared you are, you pretty much have no control what the business owner does. So you might know about the financial crisis, you might be preparing yourself individually, but if the owner isn't, then if things go bad for him, he's going to have to retrench, and obviously, yeah, you're going out the door. So that's one of the issues. If you're a wage earner, if you're working for somebody, you really have, no control over, what's going to happen in the business pretty much. But I'm going to talk in the third part. I'm going to talk about some of the strategies you can use to help yourself to better prepare yourself. They're the main things: rising unemployment, decreases in property prices, decreases in share prices, particularly with the banks, decreases in dividends, rentals, not quite sure. I think generally goods and services, the price of goods and services will rise, particularly food, fruit and vegetables, I guess, because that needs to be transported around Australia by truck, because petrol is rising at the moment. That should cause rising transportation costs. So I think unfortunately, just things that we buy on a day-to-day basis will be rising a little bit. So I can see that happening as well. So look, pretty much not a good picture, and as you can see, very, very wide area of being affected. So yeah, not too good there, unfortunately. So keep these things into consideration, and just keep an eye out on the share market, and just see how that is going over the next, over the short term. You might even get some information when you're watching the news. They'll be talking about Australian share market's fallen, Australian share market's falling, or the banks have taken and pulled the market down, and so forth. So take out that little piece of paper you might have with the prices of these 4 banks and the index. Once again, just very quickly, ANZ $27.72, Commonwealth Bank $70, Westpac $27.49, National Australia Bank $7.10, and the XJO, the ASX 200 index, 6,185. Keep an eye out on that. So that's it. Something to think about. Please, share this information. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, see what they think. I know what I'm talking about, so even though they might think, God, this guy, that's just rubbish, things are going good, everything's okay, it's always been okay. Just bear in mind that I've been here before, 2008. 2008 was actually a very, very good year for me. It was the year that I made the most money ever in my whole life, in a particular year. Easily, I made the most money. Mind you, I did have 2 years to prepare for it, so I was pretty well prepared. So that just goes to show that a financial crisis has losers, but it also has winners, because in most cases, for every loser there is going to be a winner, because if the property prices fall, then the guy who's holding the property, well, he's the loser, but the guy who actually wants to buy the property, well, he's the winner. If the share market is falling, well, the person who holds the shares is a loser. But if you're ready to come into the market and buy those shares, so if you're wanting to buy Westpac at $15, well, $15 is certainly better than $27.49, isn't it? Unless you're the guy who bought it at $27.49 because somebody did. So please don't consider the financial crisis to be something negative, something really, really bad. If you're prepared, if you know about it, if you listen to some of my tactics and some of my strategies and some of my advice that I'll be giving you in the third part, you should do okay. You should shield yourself, but maybe you might even make some money out of it. So please stay tuned for the third podcast in this series. This will be the last one, and that will be out in the next day or so.